Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the nerdiest competition ever created by the Language of Bromance team. In this corner, obsessed with Star Wars and anything with swords, Richard! And in this corner, obsessed with the Ninja Turtles and scared of anything from the ocean, Shion! Brought to you as a Pod Bros exclusive in association with the LOB Army. Tonight's competition is a Language of Bromance draft.
What's up, everybody? I'm Richard.
And I am Sean.
And we're speaking the language of bromance. But today is a dark day. It's a dark day.
It's a Fomance day because we're gonna do the Guilty Pleasure Draft, bitches! Woo!
The skies have darkened, and the warriors are on the battlefield, and heads will roll.
This draft, Richard, I feel is going to be, the winner may actually be the loser in this draft. So,
yeah.
Just to give you an idea, so what our drafts are, this is our 15th draft ever, Richard.
Wow.
And back in the day, on our very first draft, we flipped a coin, a penny to be exact, to see who would go first. And yours truly won that coin flip. So on odd drafts, I get the first round pick. On even drafts, you get the first round pick. And since it's an odd draft, guess what? I get the first pick.
Oh, yes, you do.
Just to kind of run through the rules of what our drafts are, if it's the first time you are listening to one of 15 drafts, what it is, it's basically NFL style. We have 7 rounds. We flip-flop back and forth on picks. And from there, we let you guys decide who had the best draft. And I do believe I'm still 14-0.
Oh, yeah? That's what we're going with?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, what? That's fine. That's fine. You just go ahead and keep the streak alive then. I mean, you know, whatever makes you happy. And just so everybody knows, this is a guilty pleasure draft. So this is basically where all of us will, you know, put out the completely embarrassing things that we probably don't even tell each other that we do or like or are into, but we're going to, you know, put them out there for complete strangers.
I have a feeling this is going to be a lot of, really?
Yeah, open for judgment.
Because, and my pick, I have a pick on here where I will tell you, unless you steal it, this is the pick that gave me the idea. It's not my first round pick, but it's on the list.
You know, I think this is going to be one that's like, if you take one of mine or I take one of yours, it's going to be that moment where you're like, oh God, you like that too?
I knew we were meant for each other. All right, so let's kick this bad boy off. So my first round pick, Richard, I was digging really hard for what are my guilty pleasure picks. What are those picks that you say, oh man, I definitely don't want to tell anybody about this.
And I think we're running the spectrum with this. So this encompasses movies, this encompasses television shows, music. And in some cases, it might be food, but I doubt that either one of us are probably like, oh, my God, I'll eat this. It goes straight to my thighs.
Yeah, I'm thinking movies, video games, music, TV shows. That's kind of what's all on my list. All right, so my first round pick, this is a story that has been told numerous times. There's been cartoons for it. There's been a lot of stuff. But this is a movie that was on constant repeat in my house. And it's one of those movies that made me want to be a hero, wanted me to fight the evils in this world. The bad guy in this movie just recently passed, which was really, really sad. But the actor in this movie had a really, really bad English accent where halfway through, he's like, man, let's just drop that whole accent thing. My first round pick, I'm going to go with the great Kevin Costner flick, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. This was a movie I remember. So my sister was huge on Grease. She would watch Grease all the time. This was my Grease. If I had the opportunity to get to the VHS, I was popping in that Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were like, this must be so true to life.
Yeah. I mean, you get to see him, in prison. He's a prince. He comes back. His kingdom's been taken away from him.
Yeah, he comes back like he leaves the Holy Land with a beard, and he comes back and it's gone.
With his English accent.
He figured out how to shave on a boat.
On a rowboat at that. I mean, he had sword fighting. He had one of my favorite lines in the world, too. It's like, why a spoon, cousin? Because it'll hurt more.
Because it'll hurt more.
You twit.
By the great Alan Rickman.
Yeah, who just recently passed. That was my first exposure to him. I know most people it was Die Hard, but my first was Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yeah.
I had a huge crush on Maid Marian, too. She was extremely attractive in this flick.
Yeah. It was got a bit racy, too.
Yeah.
Bit racy, and then you had that witch, which I really don't remember her from any of the story, but I'm like, okay, so there's a witch in it now. And then you had Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, he was in it. He had the big ass Arabian style, sword, which was pretty legit.
Every time I think about this movie, I can't help. Every time I think about this movie, I can't help but think about Men in Tights.
Yeah, it's definitely side by side. Because Men in Tights was one that I saw. I was able to watch that one for some reason. I don't know if because my parents didn't think I'd get the jokes or if they just didn't get them themselves. So it was always kind of cool to watch those side by side. And at that age, I didn't really understand parody very well. Okay. So I was kind of confused. Like they seemed like the same movie to me, just, slightly different. So I would watch one and it would replace the other pretty easily.
It was kind of like how I was as a kid when it came to like Star Wars and Spaceballs. Yeah,
probably. And I didn't really watch too much Star Wars when I was younger, but yeah, that would have probably been the same thing for me.
Okay. He's firing 2 arrows at once. He's licking those feathers.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that.
At one point, he just grabs arrows out and just spits on them. I'm like, what does that do? What is the point?
He bites off the feathers,
right?
But you get that badass slow-mo where he's pulling back the arrow and doof, and you got the big flames behind him.
Yeah, that happens like 2 or 3 times in that movie, doesn't it?
I think so. Well, you got the slow-mo where it's following the arrow when he splits the 1 in 2. And then you got the whole little clubhouse thing, like almost like a
It is. It's like Peter Pan and the Lost Boys.
Yeah, the Lost Boys, yeah. And then and you get the nice brother finding each other, it's like, "Oh my god, you're my brother." And they get that embrace him, and was it Sutherland? Was it one of the Sutherland kids or?
No, it was Christian Slater.
Christian Slater, yeah, that's right.
God, I know I probably didn't see that movie as much as you, but I know who the fuck's in it.
And they had the great theme song to it. What was it?
Oh, Bryan Adams.
Yeah.
I would play that for girls because that was like junior high era.
How'd that song go? I just need like 2 lines of it, or 2 words of it.
It's true.
Everything I do, I do it for you. Oh my gosh. Do you know how many like slow dance boners I had to that song?
Was that your first slow dance song?
I had to have been.
Yeah. By yourself in your room?
Well, no, I was dancing with somebody and I got that boner. You got that slow dance boner? It was weird because it was at a family wedding, but whatever.
Cousin Gretchen, I felt the same way. Wait, what?
What? Huh? Gross. So my first round pick, I'm gonna go with the great flick Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yeah. I'm wondering, did you, because usually the way we do this is we kind of have like a list ourselves. Did you pick that one because you were like, oh, I better do this one first because he might steal it.
It's one of the first ones I picked, so I figured if any of mine are on your list, this would be the one.
Yeah, that's wasn't anywhere on my list at all.
Strike one to the Sean
Not
Richard
even
relationship.
Remotely close. It was a very forgettable movie to me.
I had my list of flicks and stuff all put together, and I was trying to figure out any other one that would be like embarrassing to admit that I absolutely love. And driving to the grocery store, it like hit me. It's like, oh, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. That's number one.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to go with mine. This is a guilty. Well, okay. So my number one pick. It's a guilty pleasure for me in the sense that I have 3 kids. And you end up watching a lot of crap on television, TV shows or movies or things like that. But there are a series of movies that I will actually sit and watch when the kids aren't around. And as an adult, and will sit and watch them. Not really so much because you know what? It is. It's because I want the feels. I want some movies that give me the feels.
The quivering lip.
Yeah. And for my first round pick, I'm going with the series of Pixar movies.
Okay.
That I will sit and I will watch by myself.
So I don't know if I'd consider those too much of a guilty pleasure because there's a lot of people that enjoy those. A lot of older people and kids that enjoy those kinds of movies.
I mean, but I think parents watch them because they have children. Like, I'll watch them by myself. No one else around. In fact, I would actually prefer to watch them when there's no one else around. I watched Inside Out, and oh my God. Like, I swear to God, if you don't cry at that fucking movie, then there's a bit you haven't seen Inside Out, have you?
I haven't, no.
Okay. So there's a bit in there with this imaginary friend called Bing Bong. And there's a bit in there that I swear to God, if you don't cry at that moment, you're a fucking robot. You are a cyborg, and you need to be stopped because I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, and there's the thing with the Bing Bong, and oh God,
why you gotta go, Bing Bong?
So it's not even like it's just. It's so like it just rips your goddamn heart out. And then I sat and I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? They're all like this. Toy Story 3.
Yeah, I've heard the Toy Story 3 story, and as somebody was talking about it, I welled up. And I think what appeals to a lot of parents in those movies is they're so relatable to, that coming of age, like that point where you stop being a kid.
Yeah.
And it seems like those movies always hit on those spots really, really hard.
Oh.
Because, I mean, they kind of talk about that with Inside Out, where it's kind of, she's kind of growing up, and it's like, they say if you have kids, that's really, really emotional because it's like, the saying of you're only as happy as your most unhappy kid.
Oh, yeah.
And it's kind of that, it's like she's super depressed and you can't do anything about it.
I mean, past that, it wasn't even the whole, coming of age with the kid thing. It was this bit that I related to. That, like, I was like, well, maybe I had an imaginary friend and I've completely forgotten about them. And they're just sitting in the corners of my mind.
That's okay.
They're just not there.
I thought like you'd be sitting in the corner of the room.
It's like a piece of your childhood.
Yeah.
That's like, that might be gone and you don't even realize it's gone. You don't even know. And then, oh God. And then, like I said, like Toy Story 3, like the last 5 minutes, I don't know if you've seen Toy Story 3, but at the end he's going off to college and he doesn't know what to do with his toys and okay, spoilers, but he finds this little girl and at the last like 5 minutes of the movie he goes and he brings this box of toys to this little girl and pulls each toy individually out of this box and explains like each toy and like who they are and what they do. And oh God, it just fucking, it kills you.
Well, have you ever went back? Like, I still have my toy chest of like old turtles and things like that. Have you ever gone back to your toys and like looked at them like any time recently?
No.
because I did that probably about 2 years ago. I was just cleaning out. I'm like, I'm gonna get all these things out and look at them, and you kind of have that rush of that childhood innocence and just that imagination where because like as an adult we get to do it with this, but it's really hard for anybody as an adult to stop and just kind of let their imagination run.
Yeah,
Like most adults get stuck in the day to day, and
totally agree.
seems like with a lot of the Pixar kind of alludes to is you give up on that childhood innocence
Yeah,
and the imagination. And you just let it die, and you become an adult, and
it's like a piece of yourself is gone, and you
Yeah.
can't get it back.
you're just another spoke in the wheel.
Oh,
But yeah, I got my toys out and I was playing with them for a little bit, and it's just kind of like, because I remember being like not maybe 10 or 11, and I would play with those, and I always felt odd because I'm like, maybe I'm too old to do this.
yeah,
But I still did it because it was fun.
right. And you're by yourself, so like you're like nobody's gonna judge me.
Except mom and dad who stand there like, you play with your fucking toys again, Sean?
No,
No. Laura! He's playing with his toys again.
Ah, damn it.
Let him be, Sean. You always take his side. Mom, do I have to quit? No, Pookie Bear, no.
Thanks, mommy. Stop calling the Pookie Bear. But yeah, so, and I mean, and I'm just talking about those two. I actually, no, because you haven't seen the movie. There was this thing that somebody did an edit of the movie that and showed it to people, and it was kind of funny, but I'll save that for another time.
Okay.
But yeah, between like Inside Out and Toy Story 3, there was shit. What else? Finding Nemo.
So of the Pixar movies, which one's your favorite? Which one's the one that if you could only watch one by yourself, you get one of those Pixar movies and you only get to watch it one more time and you can never watch a Pixar movie again. Which one is it?
I'd have to go with Toy Story 3, honestly.
Toy Story 3?
Yeah. I mean, like 1 and 2. I mean, and I'm not trying to take away from 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are very good movies, but if you're saying like I watch it and I never see it again, like I don't know. I think this is maybe just a byproduct of being older, but I think that you become so jaded that like I'm 33 and I feel slightly jaded about life and about it's that I'm actually craving these emotional moments in movies because it then like like in a way it makes you feel human again, like I can feel.
Yeah. I'm not just going through emotions. I'm actually
Yeah.
feeling these emotions.
You're like the Tin Man in Wizard of Oz. You're like, now I know I have a heart because it's broken. Guilty pleasure. I'll watch them by myself. Don't even care. Pixar movies, Disney Pixar movies.
All right, that's a good pick. Again, I don't know if I'd say it's a guilty pleasure that people would be like, "What, really?"
I'm a
But
33-year-old adult male that watches kids movies by himself.
That's true. All right, so my second round pick, I'm going to go into a little bit of music here, Richard.
Oh,
So I am a kid of the millennial, 2000.
I'm afraid I might get super judgy here.
I think you are. 98 through 2004. That's when I was figuring out what kind of music I like. I think this band.
I'm so sorry.
2000 wasn't bad. There were some good rock bands that came out then.
Like what? Creed, Nickelback.
Well, you had Linkin Park, you had Papa Roach. There's some good bands in that time. But this band was kind of that late 90s push of bands. The kind of poppy, almost, I would say, bands. And this was the total, douchey style band too. The Frosted Tips, which I had back in the day. And I heard one of their songs. I heard two of their songs in one day, and that's how they made it to my list.
No,
And I don't know if you know what it is, Richard, but
I have
all around the world, statues crumble for me.
Oh wow!
Who knows how long I loved you? A little bit of Sugar Ray.
Sugar Ray.
Every morning there's a halo hanging from the corner.
So
of
you
my
just named
girlfriend's
off
phone.
those two songs. Name one more. Okay, I just thought of one. Okay, name two more.
Let's see.
Oh, nope. Never mind. That was the same one.
They had like one called like Aim For Me. Aim for me. Aim for me. Aim for me.
I actually don't know this. I've heard this, but I don't know it. I can't attest to it, but people have said this, that when it comes to his music, you hear that song Fly and you hear the other one. I can't think of the name of it, but you sang it. I've actually heard that the other songs on those albums are actually like kind of hard, like kind of hard edged, a lot more like pumped up octane rock and roll.
Yeah, well, that one like Aim For Me, it's like Aim For Me. Aim For Me. Long, long ago, and dun 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 dun. Don't believe in nothing anyway. Something like that. Almost semi-punky.
Yeah. Kind of like a tame version of Offspring.
Yeah, to an extent. Yeah, I'd compare them to a little bit of that. But I mean, that was the band that, when I forgot my CD player, I had their those two albums, and that's just what I listened to on repeat all the time, like from 98 to about 2000. And I mean, it's just kind of, like you said, some of the songs were a little bit, quote, heavier, but they were definitely a pop,
Yeah, those weren't the songs that made it to the radio.
Yeah.
The songs that made it to the radio were the two that you sang.
Yeah, exactly. It's always funny in that time frame too, because you think like people would have these albums, be like, oh my God, this is the greatest band ever, as a 13, 14-year-old.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, nothing will ever be better than Sugar Ray. Then, you get a little older, you're like, oh my God, did I really listen to that?
Yeah, it's funny to go back. It's funny to go back to music from your era. I actually have one on here that I'm gonna say it, and then you'll be like, yeah. I mean, like it's Sugar Ray equivalent.
But what I love about those is those songs can still come on, and instantly you're brought back to being 14 years old, listen to your CD player with your Annie Skip, with your nice over the ear headphones, just rocking out.
I know that's one thing. One thing I've always loved about music is, for me, music ties me to a specific place and time. So you hear a song on the radio, or you just hear a song and you're instantly transported to the first time that you heard it.
Yeah, if it's a pretty emotional song, yeah. Or like maybe not inspirational, but memorable, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my second round pick, I'm gonna go with the douchiest, not the douchiest, but one of the douche style bands, beach bands. I'm gonna go with Sugar Ray.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think we're quickly descending into the whoever wins, no matter who wins, we both lose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's try. Let's see if I can think of something equally embarrassing. Okay, this one for my pick. I'm going to TV. I'm going to TV on this one, and people mock a lot of these shows, these type of shows. But for some reason, I can't stop. I can't stop watching them. I actually went down a rabbit hole on YouTube today of one show in particular, but it's a type of show. So for my second pick, I'm going with reality cooking TV.
Oh, all right. I absolutely hate reality TV, anything.
Yeah, and I do too, but you sit me down for a Kitchen Nightmares marathon, and I'm fucking down with it.
Is it because you can relate because you've worked in a kitchen, or is it?
I mean, yeah. I hope that's it. I hope that's the only reason.
I just feel like it's somebody yelling for no reason. You're a fucking wanker.
I'm gonna say this when it comes to a show like Kitchen Nightmares. Okay, Kitchen Nightmares in particular, there are two versions of that show. There was a British television. There was a British version that aired on the BBC, and this was way before the American version. And then you have the American version that kind of came out of Hell's Kitchen. Like Hell's Kitchen was on, and then there was Kitchen Nightmares. But it was instead of in the British version, he was going around to restaurants in England, and I think he went to one in Spain. And it was basically like he would go and sample the food and watch the service and then give his critique and then make improvements and adjustments to the menu and the decor and the staff. Now, in the American version, it's the same thing, but I would say it's far more confrontational, and it has that reality TV kind of bite to it.
Yeah, it's not because all
With the
reality
dramatic
TV's
music and the edits
Yeah.
and
because it's not actually reality. They're not actually sticking a camera and doing this. There is semi-scripted pieces for these things.
but I can't stop. I did draw the line at Hell's Kitchen. I can't do Hell's Kitchen.
I mean, those shows would, if they were realistic, it'd be interesting if he actually goes in. Like, it sounds like when he was in Britain, that's what it was. He goes in, he tries their food, tells them what's wrong, works with them to improve what they need to improve, and comes back 3 to 6 months later to see what's happened.
And also, he would get confrontational and he would curse and he would yell, but it just didn't have that. It wasn't real. It didn't have that reality TV feel until we got to the US version.
Yeah. Well, and it's the thing too. Nobody wants to see some business owner be like, "Oh, okay, I see what you're saying there. That makes sense. I'm going to take those things in consideration and try to improve my business." That's not going to get people to watch. It's going to be like, "Oh, okay, well,
Right.
he's helping people." You want confrontation. Confrontation sells.
And also, there's the confrontation bit, and then, like I said, you have the dramatic music, and then you have the edits, and then you have all this other bullshit, and him yelling, and that's, I think that Gordon Ramsay in particular has a personality that on television, I think he has a TV personality, and I think that I think he's kind of slowly come to the realization, like, hey, I don't have to be crazy yelling guy all the time. It seems like he's kind of mellowing out, which I'm glad, because then I feel like it's more real, and it's not so scripted drama. But Hell's Kitchen, I mean, they pay him to scream and yell and bitch at people.
I hate that stuff so much.
I did draw the line in Hell's Kitchen, but yeah, Kitchen Nightmares, I'm all over that shit. There was another one, Bar Rescue. It's kind of the same thing. Iron Chef.
That's the thing I hate about reality TV is they get like an idea, and when because they're so cheap to make. Because
Right.
they don't hire actual actors. They just go to some, restaurant where it's like, "Oh yeah, I'd love to be on TV."
Yeah, and the people that they get, especially like I said, like that US Kitchen Nightmares, like the people they get are just such fucking train wrecks.
Yeah.
And somebody, I saw a story once that somebody was like 60% of the shows of the restaurants that appear on that show end up closing. And I'm like, well, yeah, of course they do. I'm like, you're putting like these businesses are like, regardless of what he does and said, regardless of what, this 3-star Michelin chef shows up and is like, here's what you need to do. You do this and this and this and this, and everything's fixed. Like, he leaves, you still got fucking chuckleheads that are running the goddamn place.
Yeah. And now they think they're going to be bigger than what they are because they showed up on TV.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, and what's funny is there used to be the diners, dives, and drive-thrus or something like that.
Oh, the Guy Fieri thing.
Yeah, I went to one of those that was on the show that was like it's supposed to be like this amazing thing, and basically it was like toast with shitty, shrimp.
Yeah.
So these businesses that probably should shut down are being able to keep going because they were on a TV show.
Yeah, that's true. Get a little extra mileage out of it.
Yeah.
Anthony Bourdain. I'll watch his shit all day long. That No Reservations. He did he's got that show on CNN, that Parts Unknown. I'm hooked.
Yeah, I think the other reason I'm really down on reality TV is my parents are real bad about marathons. If there's a marathon on something, if I go over to visit them,
they're binge watchers.
Well, it's something on. It's like, oh, look, it's, Hell's Kitchen. It's on for 37 hours. Let's just leave it on this channel, and it'll be on the whole weekend Sean's here. So you're just getting these things that I already want to gouge my eyes out when I watch, and I get to watch it for 37 hours. But that's definitely a guilty pleasure if there ever was one.
Like I said, we're both going down. We're both pulling back the curtain. So there it is. Reality cooking TV.
All right, so my third round pick is another movie that I used to watch all the time on the USA channel, It's MTV brought it back as a actual TV show. I haven't seen the TV show, but this was back in the day of Michael J. Fox in his heyday.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure you remember this movie. I'm gonna go with the great Michael J. Fox movie, Teen Wolf.
Oh.
I mean, you got a werewolf surfing on a van.
Okay, you're talking about the movies, right? Like you're not sitting down and watching the show.
I've never seen the show, yeah. So
Okay.
this is the movie. So you got Michael J. Fox who's a werewolf. His dad's a werewolf, and wackiness ensues.
I mean, not terrible.
It's very 80s. It's very 80s.
It is. It's so 80s. I mean, I think that's the one thing about that movie in particular is if you couldn't date it so easily, it would probably be a little bit better.
Well, it's one of those movies that, so when I was thinking guilty pleasure, I mean, somebody might be like, oh yeah, I saw Teen Wolf, that was okay. But if it was on TV right now and I accidentally stumble across it, I'm going to sit and watch it. I don't give a fuck who's around. I'm watching Teen Wolf.
I guess I'm saying, like, you watch a movie like The Breakfast Club, okay? And there's still concepts and shit like of that applies today. You know, there's still cliques in high school. There's still kids that have to sit on a Saturday and, you know, waste their time and do stupid shit. And you still have, while there are cliques in high school, there are still bright, shiny moments where they come together to defy, quote unquote, the man. Like I'm saying, like, that stuff's timeless, and you can't put a date on that.
Breakfast Club you can kind of date, but it's not. If you made it high def and maybe changed the clothing just a bit, you couldn't date it. I mean,
right.
Emilio Estevez's outfit's kind of what tells you what date they're in. I mean, otherwise, if you watched it now and it was 1080p and looked clean, most kids would be like, "What the hell are they in?" It's like, well, kids, that's a library. But
where are the computers?
Yeah.
Card catalog? Fuck's that? Why would you keep all the cards in one spot? Who keeps cards?
Where do I just go to Wikipedia? What the hell, savages?
Aren't the card catalog? Isn't that those things that you write the actual thing on that you get from the computer? You go to the computer and you look up the book and then you write it on the back of a card, right?
I wonder what percentage of kids never set foot in a library.
Well, I mean, you got libraries in schools, but you're talking about the public library?
Well, public library is probably even smaller, but even in like a high school library, when I was in high school, I very rarely went to the library. A little bit, but not much, because I was at the beginning of being able to use the computer for research.
Yeah, when I was in high school, like the internet hadn't really taken flight yet. I mean, it was there and you could look stuff up, but it was still I think there were only like maybe 2 or 3 computers in the library. And I mean, like I said, you could look stuff up. It was usually like GeoCities and
stuff that you'd be like, "Hey, I found this on this website." And it's like, that's not true.
You can't use that. You can only use one source from the internet.
Yeah.
Because we don't trust it.
We don't trust the internet.
And now it's like, oh, what book did you get that from? Yeah, that's not a reputable source.
That book's like 30 years old. It is that stuff's been disproven.
It's so dated.
But it's I mean, it's a little bit of a coming of age story. I think it's probably a metaphor for puberty, you know, having these weird feelings and hair sprouting out all over the place.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that he took, you know, the crappy team and they won the championship. You know, you get all those great, you know, stories that I wanted to have as a kid.
You get it's like the Mighty Ducks meets, I don't know, fucking werewolf.
And the best thing about that, you know, him and his dad, they get to bond over it, you know, because he thinks he's going through this by himself. His dad's like, "I know, son, I know." Which, when you consider, you know, a coming of age puberty story, that's kind of creepy.
Oh God, this is so ridiculous.
Dad knocks on the door. It's like, "I know what you're doing in there, son." "Dad, you're a werewolf too?"
It is. It's like American Pie.
He's like, "Oh God, you're a werewolf? I just thought you were masturbating." This is awkward.
Devil!
What are you doing with that silver knife, Dad?
There's a demon in my house.
Laura, I just thought he was jerking off. Our son's a werewolf.
You be whatever you want to be, Pookie Bear.
Thanks, Mom.
I love the way you understand me.
A couple years later, Mom's like, I don't know where Sean went. Where'd you get that wolf head, John? Hunting trip.
Now I'm gonna go to the bathroom and turn into a werewolf.
Is that code?
Yep. Code for masturbating.
I'm gonna pull the old silver bullet out if you know what I mean.
Me too. Wait, what?
So my third round pick, I'm gonna go with the movie Teen Wolf.
All right, pick number 3. You had Sugar Ray. This is what I had.
Please say Britney Spears. Please say Britney Spears.
Oh, no. It's not. It's. I mean, it's still pretty damning, but this is a group of people super popular in the 90s. They had at least 3 hits. I'm almost positive they had more, but I can think of 3 off the top of my head. And they very successful career. They eventually, kind of went their separate ways, and they went off and did their own thing. But at the time, they were the pinnacle. In my junior high years, they were at the top. And to this day, if something comes on, I have sang their songs. I have sang their songs at karaoke. That's how much I'm down with these guys. For my third round pick, Sean, you know what I want you to do?
You are dragging this out, man. It's got to be good.
I want you to hold my hand, Sean. No?
No.
You're not there yet?
It's not ringing a bell.
With a little love and some tenderness. Don't know the rest of the words.
I don't know. I can only think.
Hootie and the Blowfish.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
Yeah?
The bad thing is the guy, I can't remember what his name is. He's a country star now,
Darius
but he was
Rucker.
always Hootie. Yeah, Darius Rucker. He's Hootie. Like, I don't care who you are. You're not Darius Rucker. You're Hootie.
You're Hootie. This is how sad it is. There was a bit that they did on Sesame Street about crossing the street. And so they showed, like, Elmo was going to cross the street. And then Hootie and the Blowfish showed up and started singing Hold My Hand. So that way Elmo could cross the street. And I'm sitting there and I'm fucking jamming out to it. I'm like, I will walk with you.
But they're not, I wouldn't say, I mean, you could listen to it now and be like, oh, it's totally 90s. But it's still not, I don't think it's Sugar Ray level.
Hold my hand. Won't you hold my hand? Let me take you to the promised land.
So my gauge for how bad a band is. So if you're rocking out to it with your windows down and you come to a stoplight.
Windows down. Always windows down.
Yeah, so you come to a stop sign or stoplight and you stop. You're blaring Hootie and the Blowfish and somebody pulls up next to you, you're going to let it run.
Yep.
Because somebody's going to be like, oh, yeah, Hootie. I like Hootie.
That's honestly, that's always been my philosophy. I don't care what you listen to. Like, if you're into fucking Britney Spears, crank that shit. Like, just crank it. Put your windows down. Like, fuck it. Who cares?
I don't know. If I'm blaring Sugar Ray and somebody pulls up next to me, I'm turning that shit down. That's the every morning there's a hanging on the floor.
It's like that dude in the beginning of Office Space.
Yeah, exactly.
Got the spoon beside me. I can't talk to my girl, so I talk to my diary.
Lock the door. So when did you get exposed to Hootie and the Blowfish?
This would have been junior high. I had a friend of mine that was way super into it, and I was always like, at the time, I was really into like hard rock. Like, I listened to a lot of Black Sabbath. I listened to a lot of like White Zombie and bands like that. And this one friend I have was like, I'm Hootie and the Blowfish. I'm like, it's fucking stupid. You're stupid. Don't listen to stupid music.
And he's like, just listen to it, and he holds your hand, and you just start crying.
And I went home, and I'm like, not that bad. And so then it come on the radio, and I did. Like I would be in the house and I had this little double deck cassette player and it would come on the radio in the house and I'd turn the volume kind of down because I wanted to make sure that nobody in the house knew that I was listening to Hootie and the Blowfish.
Your dad knocks on the door. Richard, what are you doing in there?
What are you listening to in there?
I'm not listening to Hootie and the Blowfish. I'm masturbating, Dad. Oh, okay.
Thank
Carry on,
God.
son. Didn't want my son listening to Hootie and the Blowfish.
That's how my brain worked. It was like if it was White Zombie or Marilyn Manson, I'm like, oh, crank that shit. Like, who gives a fuck? Hootie and the Blowfish, I'm like, oh, put that volume down.
Didn't want to ruin your rep.
Yeah. In my house with my parents. So yeah, I'm a guy and I'm comfortable in myself. I can admit it. I like Hootie and the Blowfish.
Hi, Richard.
It's alone by lamp.
All right, that's not too bad. I mean, there's worse things out there, and I think my 4th round pick's probably gonna top that.
Yeah, you're gonna wash this clean.
Yeah. So I told you my mom and dad, mostly my mom, loves marathon. She was the kind of person that she would hook onto a TV show that was in syndication and just watch that thing for, months at a time.
Okay.
It's like, oh, this channel is showing this show, every day at 4 to 7. Let's watch that.
Okay.
And so this TV show is in syndication. I can't remember what channel, but, we watched it probably for a couple months straight. Basically, when they're in syndication, they play like 3 episodes in a row. So you get like a season in a month or something like that.
Yeah.
Season in a couple weeks. This show we watched from beginning to end probably 3 to 5 times. And as a kid, I kind of dug it,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be from this zip code because all these kids live the life. Even when kids moved from Minnesota to this zip code, everybody was happy. They had so much fun, Richard. Richard, my 4th round pick, the place I wanted to be, what I thought high school would be like.
Hang on.
I'm gonna
wait, it's okay, so is it Saved by the Bell?
No.
Okay, just checking, because if it's not, then it's banana. Okay.
Little 90210,
You're
man.
gonna have to, so you're gonna have to explain this one to me. I will actually admit to you, I have never seen a single episode of 90210, and that was my demographic.
Yeah, that was totally in your wheelhouse. I was in junior high when this came out. I just remember, Dylan was the cool kid, For some reason, he lived by himself. I don't know what high school kid would get to live by themselves. Donna Martin gets drunk. She doesn't drink.
You're like, why are you living by? He's like, I'm 28.
Yeah, exactly. There's the episode where they go to prom and they say, well, there's no drinking at prom. If you get caught drinking at prom, then you don't get to graduate. And the straight-laced Donna Martin, she gets a little tipsy and gets caught. Ooh. So you get the greatest thing ever. Donna Martin, graduate. Donna Martin, graduate.
Wow.
I love the fact that, Tori Spelling's character was the straight-laced virgin because her dad ran the show. So it's like, well, you're going to be in the show, but you're straight-laced and you're a virgin. It's like, okay, whatever, Dad.
You didn't say anything about the after show. Woo!
But it was kind of a more mature Saved by the Bell because they did the whole high school thing and then they did college and then they had a little bit after college. So there's specific things in that show that I still remember. Like I remember when Donna Martin lost her virginity.
Yeah, I mean, because that was crazy.
It's like, I'm home alone and Donna Martin's gonna lose it. So zip.
Time for the right hand to lose it.
Dad knocks on the door. What are you doing in there? I'm a werewolf. I'm a werewolf, Dad.
Better not be watching that 90210. All right. Watching 90210. Well, Jason Priestley is a very memorable character. Plot structure is all wonky.
He's 28. He's in high school.
They had that hangout place. What was the hangout place? It was like the
cherry
apricot
pit.
Hole or something.
I think it was the apricot hole. I think it was the cherry pit.
The cherry pit? Okay.
Yeah, he had the wise old guy who ran the cherry pit that they always talk to.
I always felt like the show was a ripoff of Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, it was a more mature Saved by the Bell, is what it really was. It lasted
This
a lot
ain't your
longer.
mom. This ain't your dad. Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, these kids are having sex. These kids are drinking beer, smoking, doing
And they all
coke.
moved to Melrose Place, and then you're like, holy shit,
I never watched Melrose Place.
that was sexy.
Yeah, that was Saved by the Bell 90210 to the extreme.
Yeah, like everybody fucked everybody, including the dudes.
Laura, he's going even further down the rabbit hole.
And 90210 did it. Gateway drug, Laura.
Dad, so what happens when a man wants to be with another man? Go listen to Hootie and the Blowfish, Sean.
Well, he can't get married, that's for sure.
Tricks on you, Dad.
All right.
Instead of Here Comes the Bride, it's just doo 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 doo.
That's what's played. That's what's played at every gay wedding. It's the theme to 90210.
So my fourth round pick, I'm gonna go with 90210.
All right. So I think I have you beat because I love this show. I have watched every single episode of this show. I don't know how many times, and no, it's not Saved by the Bell. And there is nothing about the show that relates to me. Like there is no, like you watch 90210 because they were kids and you were a kid and you were like, oh, there's a commonality. This show I've watched since I was a kid. No commonality with this show whatsoever. None. The topics weren't relevant to me. The characters were not at all relevant to me, but I watched the shit out of the show and I will still watch it and love it. For my fourth round pick, I'm going with a television show. It's in syndication and it's about 4 lovely women from the city of Miami.
Oh.
That's right, Sean. And I just want to tell you, thank you for being a friend.
I remember watching this with my grandma and
I
absolutely hating this
love
show.
the fucking Golden Girls. My name is Richard. I am 33 years old. I'm a male. I love the fucking Golden Girls.
Yeah, I could never get into that show. I think
How
it's 'cause
can you not get
I
into
don't
this
know.
show? It's so fucking funny. Betty White. Oh, Jesus.
Well, I think Betty White was good.
Betty White's awesome. B. Arthur with all her fucking sarcasm. And Estelle Getty with her fucking, picture it. Sicily, 1923. Oh, and she'd tell these stupid-ass stories. And then Rose would tell stupid stories.
Well, yeah, because I always was interested because Blanche was the one that was kind of sexy. She was the one that liked to get it on, right?
So yeah, so Dorothy is B. Arthur. Dorothy was like she was like the sarcastic, cynical one.
And she was the daughter of the one girl, right?
Right. And then Sophia was the really old one. That was her mother. Sophia was the crotchety, fiery one, the smart assy one.
Dorothy always kind of reminded me of a dude. I think that's what threw me off.
Well, it was probably because of her voice. She has a very low voice.
Yeah, and she kind of had a manly look to her.
Then you had Rose. Rose was branded as kind of the dumb one. So Rose was the dumb one. She was from St. Olaf, Minnesota. And she had her stories about St. Olaf where she talked about, I don't know, all stupid farm-ass bullshit stories.
It's kind of sad. I'm going through all those women, and the only one still alive is Betty White.
Yep,
The rest
Betty
of them
White's
have
the
already
only one
passed
still
on.
alive. Estelle Getty, who was actually the youngest one on the show. Betty White was actually the oldest one on the show in their actual ages when they were filming the show.
Yeah, it looks like they're all in the 22 to 23 range, like the year they were born.
Right. I'm trying to think. So B. Arthur, I think B. Arthur died first. Then it was Dorothy died first, then Estelle, then Sophia, and then Blanche. And
that's
Betty White just had her 94th birthday.
Yep. January 17th is her birthday. And she still looks pretty good. She was on a commercial for one of the NFL playoff games. And she's
Dude, for 94, yeah. She
yeah.
looks,
Have you seen some of like Betty White's older pictures when she
ooh,
was?
yeah, she looked, she looked
Yeah,
good.
she didn't look bad.
Oh,
You get a time machine. If you say the first thing you do when you get a time machine is kill Hitler. I'm gonna go.
yeah, you
Hit
go
on
find some
Betty
Betty
White.
White.
What's up, Betty White?
Yeah. Afterwards, you'd be like, thank you for being a friend.
No, thank you, Betty White. And years later, I have a son that's 50 years old right now. Dad?
I think it's just that the show was it was your plain Jane fucking sitcom show, but I'll be fuck if that show wasn't goddamn hilarious.
Well, I've seen some of the jokes they talk about now, and I think there's one where Rose talks about like her son's gay, right?
Either her son. Well, I know Dorothy's brother was a crossdresser.
Okay. Because they mentioned something there's like, well, why can't gay people like women? And then the older one's like, well, yeah, they do. They're called lesbians. I mean, that's a show I'll sit and watch, but I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it.
Oh yeah, if it's on, I'm strapped in. I'm strapped in and I'm in.
I think that just feels like one of the old shows that my grandma would watch. So it just has, I mean, that's a show, if it comes on, it's taking me right back to grandma's living room, staying there, over the summer or, after school or whatever and watching it then. That would definitely take me back to that moment.
All right. So there you go. 4th round pick. I'm actually surprised I didn't put it up higher, but I'm going with the Golden Girls. And you know what? I think that one, that's going to be my saving grace. I think that's the one that people are going to be like, yeah. I mean, yeah, we'll have to give it up for the Golden Girls.
Yeah, it's really going to depend how people want to judge on this, because it's either going to be I'm voting for this because it's like, really? Or they're going to vote for it and be like, well, it's better than the other one.
Hey everyone, this is Tom from the Say What Podcast, and I would love it if you'd swing over to saywhatpodcast.com to check us out as soon as you're done listening to this show. We handpick real news articles to poke fun at every week, like a lady from Florida attacking her boyfriend with a ceramic squirrel, or kids rubbing chapstick in their eyes to get high, or the guy who got arrested for repeatedly having sex with an inflatable pool shark. Yeah, I think you get the point. So tune into the Say What Podcast every Friday on iTunes, Stitcher, and at saywhatpodcast.com.
All right, so my 5th round pick, I am going to get a little bit more into the more recent times. This is a movie that I went to see. This is a series of movies. But I went to see it not expecting much from it. When I went to the theater to watch it, I'm like, this is going to be a chick flick, so I'm just basically wasting time to go see it.
Oh, okay.
But I fell in love with this story. I've picked the lead character in one of our drafts before, and I read the books. The books are not super complicated or super intelligent books. They're easy books to read, and the movies are kind of similar. But I'm going to go with the series with Miss Katniss Everdeen. I'm going to go with The Hunger Games.
What?
Yeah. So I saw the first movie. I'm like, hey, it's not too bad. And so I read the books.
Wait. So, under what circumstances did you watch the first movie? Like, were you forced?
No, it was just. So I go to the movies a lot with Tiffany's dad, and we were like, "There's nothing on except this Hunger Games we've seen previews for." And it's like, you want to go see that? I'm like, sure, because we hadn't seen it. Because we usually go see movies probably every 2 to 3 weeks. We'll go see one, and it had been like a month and a half, and we hadn't seen a movie. So like, well, let's just go see this Hunger Games. I'm like, I don't really want to see it, but if you want to, sure, I'll go.
Okay.
I think I liked it more than he did, but it was definitely caught my interest in my imagination.
You came out and you were like, that was amazing. And he was like, what? And you were like, oh, nothing.
The whole ride home, I'm going.
Haven't watched a single one.
They're not bad.
He's like, oh God, you're the one that sleeps with my daughter.
Yeah. He's like, I said yes for you to marry my daughter. I'm like, yeah. I volunteered as tribute. Get it?
Yeah.
It's not too many times in life where you could say you disappointed two father figures. I have that honor.
There you go. There you go.
But it was I mean it wasn't bad. They're not well, so the reason I wanted to put this as my guilty pleasure because I saw the first one and like it got pretty big reviews. Pretty much from teenage girls, but it got good reviews.
Okay, I was making sure that you were gonna end it right.
Well, I don't think I realized that. I just like heard the rumors of like, oh, Hunger Games is doing really well. You know, it's a surprise movie. There's a multiple series. And so I made the mistake of telling people that I like friends I know. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just saw Hunger Games. It was really good. And you look around the table, and everybody's giving this look like you just said, hey, I'm gonna take my dick out right now and put it on the table.
Oh, I love it. I love it because you were probably like, hey, like this is a thing and it's based on a series of books. Like, I bet like this will give me some like nerd cred. Like, I'll go into the comic store and be like, guys, I just saw the new Hunger Games. Oh my God, right?
You guys have the graphic novel for Hunger Games?
No, guys.
You're joking, right? Yeah, no. Why?
Why are you closed? You didn't. The sign says open.
I've got money. I got a pull list I wanted to start. Yeah, no, we're closed.
Please leave, sir.
So, and I read the books, and the books aren't. I mean, like I said, the books.
God, you were really into this. You were like, oh, you gotta get the books.
Yeah, well, this was back at the time when I'm like, I want to read a book a month, and so I picked up that series to read. But it's interesting because I was reading Game of Thrones as I was reading Hunger Games, and that. If you're ever going to make a comparison of like chess to checkers, those are the two books you can use. Hunger Games is very much checkers.
I was going to say, did the worlds like merge for you? Like all of a sudden, like Katniss shows up at the Red Wedding and...
Oh my God, that'd be so hot.
Oh, you just figured out your next fanfic.
Yeah. But I mean, the Hunger Games is more checkers. It's very simple, very easy to follow. You know, it's got an easy tempo. It doesn't take much to read. But then, like, as I was reading Game of Thrones, you know, it's very much, you know, you have to be focused. There's so much detail. You know, there's a lot of moving pieces. You know, it's chess, and Hunger Games was checkers. So I learned that pretty quick.
Okay.
But it's definitely one of those that I don't... So after I told people at work about the second one or the first one that I saw, I went and saw the other ones, but I definitely didn't mention, hey, I'm going to go see Hunger Games 3 this weekend.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Totally kept that to myself. So for my 5th round pick, a very good guilty pleasure, I'm going to go with the Hunger Games.
Yeah, I don't know what to say to this. I got to say, like, that one actually kind of shocks me a little bit. All right, let's see. All right, we're at number 5. Number five. Okay, I'm going with a series of video games. And it was kind of a fad for a minute. And it seems like it kind of died out. But if someone has them, then I will definitely play them. Like, if I'm at a friend's house or whatever, and they're like, hey, you want, you know, like, kill some time, play a game or whatever? I'm like, sure. I'll be like, oh, you got this. We should do this. And I don't know what this is going to say about me, but I like games that you dance in.
Oh, good Lord.
I like Dance Dance Revolution. It's fun.
Yes. God bless it. So those are... We had a group of friends that for probably every other month or every month for about a year and a half, we'd go over to their house and play Dance Dance Revolution.
See?
And it's a good party game. You
right?
know, you get a few drinks, and it's just like at the club. You know, the first song comes on, and you're like, oh yeah, I'll kind of do the motions. You get a drink. Next song comes on, a little bit more in the motions. You know, after an hour of playing, you're doing all these crazy moves. You know, you're falling on the ground, doing the worm. You are totally knocking this stuff out of the ballpark.
Yeah, you totally are. And then at the end, what do you get at the end of the song, end of the routine or whatever? What do you get? Validation. That's what you get.
Well, did you play the one where you get the video of yourself doing it?
No.
So I played one version where at the end it'll show you like clips of you dancing, and it's the same thing. The first 3 or 4 times you do it before you're completely hammered, you're like, oh god, delete those, delete those. Later in the night, you're like, oh shit, save that and upload it to YouTube. This is gold. God, that game, and it's funny because it always seems like the point systems is really, really messed up on that.
Yeah.
Because like somebody will be hitting all the dance moves and they like get like half the points you do because your hands were in almost the right position, but you look like a goofball.
I like them. I like Dance Dance Revolution. I liked all of them. And it didn't matter what song it was. Like if it's fucking that Starships by what's her name, that Nicki Minaj, like I'll jam out to it, whatever.
So have you danced to any songs enough times that when that song comes on, you're doing the dance in your head?
Probably. I can't honestly think of what those would be, but I'm sure I have. I'm sure I have, and I'm sure I will in the future.
Yeah, it's been a bit since we've done it, but there was a song that we constantly did multiple times in a night, and it was a pretty popular song. And anytime it came on, you'd kind of do the hand motions instead of doing the dance. Dance Dance Revolution. A little DDR.
DDR.
Did you ever play this game in like the arcade?
I did.
Okay. What's high score mean? Did I break it? Is that bad?
And then at the end it'll say like awesome or like sweet or perfect, and then you were like, yeah.
I did it once at the arcade.
Technology validates my life.
Mine pretty much said like, yeah, you suck balls. Get off this game. Oh.
Do you want your money back? We'll give you your money back. No.
I'm like, Mom, I figured out what I'm going to be when I grow up, a dancer.
That's lovely, dear. What if... Oh, God, I knew it, Laura. All that 90210 you got him watching.
What's he want to do next? Strip? He's gonna be a stripper, Laura, and not even a good one. I want to be proud of my son and whatever he does, Laura. But if he was a terrible stripper, look at him dancing up there.
Oh,
he can't
God.
even use the hips right. Get off, Sean. Let me show you how it's done.
Hey, this is good fun.
Oh, John. Ooh.
Yeah, you like that, don't you?
I need to get my dad on a DDR machine someday.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, mercy.
So there you go. 5th round. Closing out the 5th round, I'm going with DDR.
All right, not bad. Not bad. So going with the dancing theme and the stripper theme.
Oh.
I got a great pick. I was at the age where I was a little too young to see this flick, but I, as most kids probably my age, was able to sneak this out and watch it, at this age of, curiosity.
All right.
It ties into 90210 because it is from a actress in one of the TV shows that is related to 90210. I am going to go with the show where I got to see not Kelly Kapowski. Brain fart.
I don't know where you're going.
Not Lisa Turtle. Who's the other one?
Jessie Spano.
Where I get to see Jessie Spano's, not only her boobies.
Yeah.
And her hoo-ha, but her buttocks as well. I'm going to go with the great coming-of-age story because I came of age.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Showgirls.
I bet you did. Right on the back of that, right on the cover of that case.
This was the first movie I saw where it was very, very graphic. And I remember thinking to myself when I saw this, I'm like, those boobs don't look real. I don't know what to think except there's a lot of things happening to little Sean at this point.
Yeah. That movie was NC-17, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it came to our neck of the woods too, which was surprising. I think there was a big uproar about that.
There were people protesting.
And I don't know if you've watched it recently, but I remember actually watching it all the way through, instead of in 5-minute chunks. and the movie.
So why 5-minute chunks?
Because, when you're that age, it really only takes 3 minutes and the rest is crying. But I remember actually watching it all the way through and be like, this movie really doesn't have a very good plot.
No, it does not.
Did you see when late night or the Tonight Show had the Saved by the Bell reunion?
No. Oh, yes.
So he plays a character in there with all of them, and Zach Morris' character is like, well, that'd be just as crazy as Jesse being a stripper.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's really a guilty pleasure. I mean, that's the movie that everybody's seen at least a little bit of, but nobody really will admit to be like, yeah, I kind of want to go back and watch it again now that I'm of age.
What is it? Yeah, I'm because now I'm sitting here trying to remember what is it that made that movie NC-17. I don't remember. Like breasts make a movie R, but what?
There was a lot of it was basically kind of like Skinamax graphicness. There's a scene where she's in the pool dry humping a guy. There's a pretty intense graphic rape scene, which was a little much for my eyes when I saw that.
Okay.
But there is a kind of a lot of that more graphic, it's not like movie sex where it's like under a cover and, it's impossible. It's like, it's almost looks like they could have made this an actual X-rated movie.
All right.
Maybe we should do that as our next movie commentary.
That'll be the next commentary.
Yeah.
We'll do Showgirls.
Richard, can you go get me a soda?
Sean, it's a good thing we're in separate rooms right now. Because I am wearing no pants. I don't know if you know this, but it's like most of our shows.
What's that?
That I'm wearing no pants.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. I'm not wearing it either. Even when we're in the same room, I never wear pants.
Yeah, I know. We need to talk about that.
It's like, listen, Sean, you can not wear pants. That's fine, but please do not sit on my lap.
Can you just wait until we do shows that we're not in the same room? Because this is awkward.
But yeah, so for my 6th round pick, I am going to go with the classic underground movie Showgirls.
All right. God, we're on to number 6. All right, number 6, it's kind of a genre of music, but I am down. It's a genre of music that if you watch any of it now, you just like, what the fuck? But like I'll still go crazy about it. 80s pop. I'm gonna just bury the lead. 80s pop. I am a fan of 80s pop. You can just name some songs, and I'm sure I probably like them.
Like a virgin.
Oh, totally.
Woo!
Totally.
99 red balloons.
Floating in. Oh, yeah. I sang that. Take On Me by Aha.
Yeah, there you go. Girls just want to have fun.
Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah.
Very nice. This is just an excuse for you to sing shit.
Yeah, pretty much. There is something, because everybody always talks about, and I don't know if it's because I was at the age where everybody in the 80s had grown up in, so like all the adults were like, oh, the 80s was the greatest generation because they came from the 80s. Kind of like now you hear the 90s were the greatest generation.
Right.
But that's the kind of music that, you hear that song and you're at a dance club or something like that, and everybody's going to kind of get the snap on, little head bob.
That's the thing is, I was born in the 80s, but I didn't really start listening to a lot. That's probably about 6 or 7 is when I started kind of listening to music. MTV had started to kind of gain a lot of momentum at that point.
Yeah.
So you had, all the glam metal. Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi's probably a guilty pleasure all in itself.
Bon Jovi, really?
Yeah.
That's the one I draw the line at Bon Jovi.
'Cause I'm wanted. Oh, draw the line where? Yeah.
Oh, God, I hate that song.
Yeah, but he says the person who just sang it.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's just like the Pour Some Sugar on Me. I hate that song, but, you play it, you're singing it.
Oh, yeah, you are. Red light, green light.
Everybody kind of had the Creed voice back then.
I saw this thing. I read this thing about Creed the other day that somebody had said that Creed had just gotten in under the wire of right before music on the internet kind of exploded.
Mm-hmm.
And so Creed kind of just slipped in where it was this traditional system of the studio puts out music from this band, and then that gets on the radio, and then the radio begets them money and fame, and blah blah. Like it just kind of cycles,
Yeah, so pretty much if they would have come out like today, they would have never made it.
Right. Basically saying that while their music did have some okay hooks, that it's ultimately forgettable because it's like a manufactured version of what you got from like Pearl Jam and bands like that.
Yeah, it was what they call those, like a studio made band.
Yeah, kind of. But we're not talking about Creed. We're talking about Aha and Cyndi Lauper
So if you had to pick one song, then
and
what
Bon
would it be?
Jovi.
So what would be your one song?
Uh
You're leading off your 80s pop mixtape. What is it going to be?
I would kind of probably have to go with Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Oh, God.
If I was making a mixtape, like that's what I would probably lead it off with.
Just so everybody could skip it and go to the next song?
Fuck you. That was, I'll tell you what, Def Leppard.
I hate Def Leppard.
I'm trying to think which album it was. Adrenalize. Whatever album they came out with in the 90s. That was the first cassette I ever bought.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Def Leppard's Vault, which was like a greatest hits collection from the time they started till about like 93, 94.
Yeah.
That was the first CD I ever bought. So I guess, yeah, I'd have to go with Def Leppard as if we're leading off. Step inside, walk this way, you and me, babe. Hey, hey.
God. So 80s pop, huh? All right. Are you ready for the money shot round, Richard?
Oh, here we go.
All right. So I'm really surprised you didn't pick this one. And I told you at the very beginning of this draft that there was something I saw.
Oh, you saved it for the end.
I did. This would have been my number one pick, but it felt so good to be a money shot pick because it's what gave me inspiration to do the guilty pleasure draft.
Oh.
So back in the day, Richard, my sister was a cheerleader, so she absolutely loved anything that was cheerleading. And this movie, I secretly had a passion for. I secretly loved to watch this movie.
Really?
I kind of forgot about it.
Oh.
And as I was in the gym the other day, it was playing on the TV as I was jogging. And I was reading the subtitles, and I got that warm, warm feeling in the pit of my tummy. Richard, it's cold in here. There must be some toros in the atmosphere. I said, oh. Ice, ice, ice. Richard, my 7th round pick is the greatest cheerleading movie of all time. Bring it on.
Yeah, about this. I don't think we should be friends.
Oh, no, Richard, we should be friends. We should totally be friends because you had, this was bringing two different, there's a split down the middle. You've got the people that, come from the wrong side of the tracks. You got the rich white kids stealing their cheers. I mean, how can you not love this movie? You have Kristen Dunst, Elijah Dushku.
I don't know because I've never seen it.
Bullshit, you've seen it.
I swear to God.
Oh,
swear to God. So, all right. So give me the plot synopsis of the great, film masterpiece.
Oh, so Richard, this movie.
Bring It On.
Bring It On. You've got Kristen Dunst's character, and this is spoilers. If you haven't seen this,
please go ahead and spoil it. It's fine.
So Kristen Dunst is a senior cheerleader now. She is the cheer captain, and she's been looking forward to this her entire high school career because they are a multi-time national championship team. And Elijah Dushku comes along, and she's a gymnast, so she's not necessarily a cheerleader, but the school doesn't have gymnastics, so she's kind of the rugged.
Elijah Dushku's in this movie?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Elijah Dushku in a cheerleading outfit.
Ooh.
And Kristen Dunst in a cheerleading outfit.
Ooh.
14-year-old Sean absolutely loved this movie.
Yeah, okay, it's starting to come together now.
So
eyes watch a movie about cheerleading.
What are the? Oh, Sean, go to your room. So the premise is, so their national championship cheerleading squad, and it's her senior year, and she's been given by last year's captain basically the routine that's going to win them nationals, no doubt.
No doubt.
Oh, but Elijah Dushku's like, whoa, bitch, you've been stealing those routines. I've seen this before.
Ooh.
And Kristen Dunst's like, bitch, we are 100% unique. She's like, oh, yeah? Well, let's go to East Compton and see what the Clovers do.
Ooh.
And Kristen Dunst, oh, man. I mean, she just gets destroyed because it's her whole career is a sham,
Yeah.
Richard. Her cheerleading career is a sham.
Oh, they brought it.
Yeah, they brought it.
They brought it, and then they did something with it.
But I mean, you get the great Spirit Fingers. If you ever hear anybody talk about Spirit Fingers, that's from this flick.
I've said Spirit Fingers. That's where
Yeah.
it comes from?
Yeah, because they hire a guy to basically make their routine, and his big thing is Spirit Fingers.
Oh, yeah, because there's jazz hands
Yeah,
and then Spirit Fingers.
but I mean, it's not a great movie. And at the end, Richard, they have a really good blooper reel they show, which is hilarious. And
Yeah, it's like Smokey and the Bandit.
yeah, exactly. And also what they do at the end is they pull together a great routine with, oh, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Mickey.
Okay, that doesn't sound bad.
Yeah, because that was a cheerleading.
I mean, just the bit at the
music
end. All the
video.
other shit sounds horrible, except for
Oh, no, it's all
except
great.
for Eliza Dushku.
Okay, let me
outfit.
sell this for you. So the other great part of this movie, so, cheerleaders have to raise money for whatever they need to raise money for.
Oh, tell me there's a car wash. This is a car wash.
Yeah, there's a car
Oh,
wash scene.
it's a car wash. All
Kristen
right.
Dunst, Elijah Dushku, and some nice bikinis.
Okay.
And this was totally during the Buffy era, so it's like Elijah Dushku.
Yeah.
This is this isn't crazy. I'm gonna kill you, Elijah Dushku, which is sexy.
Yeah.
I like
also,
a little faith.
very much.
This is gymnastic cheerleader Elijah Dushku.
Ooh.
I fell in love. Not
Hello,
gonna lie.
Eliza. My heart's on fire, Eliza.
Laura, he named his pillow Elijah.
No, I think it's Eliza, sweetie.
Oh, okay. I was nervous since he's been
That
watching
guy.
90210.
He's been watching that 90210. Like that Jason Priestley boy.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. He's an attractive man.
Whose last name is Priestley? Not Elvis.
Kids these days, I don't understand this generation, Laura. So my 7th round money shot pick, Richard, what inspired me for this draft, I'm going to go with a Bring It On.
All right. So my 7th round pick, honestly, I got all the ones that I wanted in. So I needed something to kind of round it out. Just kind of, just a nice healthy rounding. So I would say that my money shot isn't spectacular, but it still is a very good movie. For my 7th round pick, this was a movie released in 1987 and was the very first appearance of the famed Kim Cattrall from Sex and the City. She was the slutty one in Sex and the City, and she was also in Big Trouble in Little China.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Kim Cattrall. The other stars in this movie, I'm going to list off the cast. You have James Spader, Estelle Getty from famed Golden Girls.
I see a trend here.
The lead is Andrew McCarthy, and the movie is about a woman in ancient Egypt hides in a pyramid from her mother who wants to marry her against her will. The girl's name is Emmy. Emmy prays for the gods to get her out of this mess, and the gods answer Emmy's prayers. She travels through time on a hunt for true love, and she ends up in 1987 Philadelphia as in the title of the movie, mannequin.
Oh, I think I've seen this movie before.
Where she's a mannequin in the store.
Yeah.
And like during the day, she's like a mannequin, but then at night she turns into a girl, and then her and Andrew McCarthy run around and do all sorts of crazy shenanigans together.
Yeah. I
And
feel
then
like
they
this-
fall in love.
Yeah, that seems like a movie written by a really lonely guy.
And then there was a guy in it, and his name was Hollywood, and he was flaming gay, but they couldn't they couldn't say he was gay because it was the 80s. And so they were just like, "Oh, look at him. He's so colorful." He's wearing like 4 different colors in one outfit. He's wearing like hot pink rimmed sunglasses indoors at night. And the movie ends. I remember the ending song for this movie was Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now by Jefferson Starship. So you say Teen Wolf was dated? Oh no, sir.
Oh God, yeah.
This is dated.
This seems. I think I saw this on the USA Special type show.
And
runs on
we
USA
can
all the
build
time, and
this thing
you're just like this idea that this story doesn't make any
standing
sense.
strong forever.
It's just an excuse for a guy to have
Nothing's
sex with a
gonna
mannequin.
stop us now. Yeah, the whole thing's just like this. It's Andrew McCarthy's delusion, where he's just fucking dummies inside the store.
Yeah. No, it's really alive. I swear.
Say something, Emmy. Talk.
Oh, it's gross. So, is there anything else fancy you'd like to throw in about Mannequin?
No. Like I said, I feel like I kind of. It's a good way. It's a good finisher. It's a good way to end it. But I feel like my list is very well rounded. I feel like maybe I kind of shot my wad with the Golden Girls, but
Yeah, that was a little early. I mean, it was perfect there because that's definitely one I could see getting picked up sooner by somebody. So
yeah, exactly. See, because everybody loves the fucking Golden Girls.
I just don't know how Bring It On got all the way to the 7th round. I'm really surprised you didn't pick it. So I got 4 other ones that were on my list. One is another band called Die Antwoord. I don't know if you've ever heard of them or not.
I really haven't.
They sing It's basically the worst thing that you'll absolutely love. The lead singer of this band
Is that their
called Nate-
tagline? Do they put that on the posters?
No, they take themselves completely serious.
Oh.
There's a song. The lead singer calls himself Ninja Boy,
Okay.
and the chick is creepy.
Oh, tell me
looking-
he spells it BOI.
I don't remember. I think it's BOY. I think he does
Okay.
spell it right. But the chick sings a song called "I Think You're Freaky and I Like You a Lot." If you want a good humorous thing, look up "Enter the Ninja." I Think You're Freaky and I Like You a Lot, or "Sexy Boy." Those are all just great songs. They're from South Africa. It's awesome.
Okay.
I had Starship Troopers, which is kind of
I mean, that's not really a guilty pleasure, though, because that movie was it was good enough to spawn not 1, but 2 sequels.
yeah. That's kind of why I kept it. I didn't pick it because it's kind of like it's a borderline.
You had Starship Troopers 2, and then, what was the other one? Marauder.
And I think there was a 4th one too, right?
Oh, yeah. No, there was 1, 2, 3, or there was Starship Troopers, then 2, 3, and then Marauder. I think you're right.
I also had the TV show Home Improvement.
Yeah, again. Like
It's borderline.
Like their Halloween shows were fucking
yeah.
spectacular.
And the last one I would say definitely was kind of that 90s-esque type movie. I was going to go with Young Guns. That one seems kind of guilty to me.
Yeah,
Because that's kind of the young Hollywood new Rat Pack. We're going to be cowboys.
Very
Yeah.
true.
I used to watch that in the living room with my toy gun, with my pillow. I would wrap my belt around the pillow like it was a horse.
You know who sang the song for the soundtrack to that movie?
Ah, yes, I do, Richard.
Shut down in a blaze of glory. Take me
down,
See?
Lord of Truth. Oh, God.
Oh, I hate Bon Jovi, even though I could sing his shit word for word.
All right, so I'm going to recap this draft. So, Richard, for my first round pick, had Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. My second round pick was Sugar Ray. Third round pick, Teen Wolf. Fourth round pick, 90210. Fifth round pick, Hunger Games. Sixth round pick, Showgirls. And seventh round pick, it's a little cold in here, so I got Bring It On.
All right, for my first round pick, I had the series of Pixar movies. If you want to cry, feel some love. For my second pick, I had reality cooking television. I can't defend that. Third round pick, Hootie and the Blowfish, and I don't care because they sold millions. Fourth round pick, I had the Golden Girls, and I mean, come on. If there's any way you vote for my list, it's gonna be for the Golden Girls. For my fifth round pick, I had DDR or Dance Dance Revolution or dancing games in general, Just Dance 2014, what have you. For my sixth round pick, I had a series of 80s pop songs. I mean, you can get as obscure, you can get as very sad as you want. And I've probably heard it, and I probably like it. And for my seventh round pick, I went with the lovely movie, and that would be Mannequin. Also, Sean, I did have one other thing on my list, and you actually said it earlier.
Was it Saved by the Bell?
No.
Oh, what was it?
It was Britney Spears.
Oh, did I embarrass you too much to play it?
Well, you said it, and I was like, oh, no, God, now I can't put it. I think I was like on the verge of saying it. And I was like, well, no, I'll just move this.
So just since you brought it up, I will release a little bit of information about me that's pretty embarrassing.
Oh.
So when I was like 14 or 15, I got some workout equipment because I was at that age where I'm like, okay, I'm going to start lifting weights, because I'm want to grow big and strong.
All right.
And I had Britney Spears' first album. And that is what I would jam to while I was working out at home. It's like I'm gonna pump some iron for Britney Spears.
And then she's like, "Hit me, baby, one more time," and you're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna hit that."
I don't know what that means, but
yeah,
Laura, he's lifting the Britney Spears again. All right, well, do you have any Richard's closing thoughts?
We call these things guilty pleasures because it's things that we're embarrassed about to show other people or to let other people in on. But you know what? I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what kind of TV shows you like. Nobody cares what kind of music you're into. Nobody cares what type of food you eat or any of it. Nobody cares. Everybody is too concerned with themselves to worry about you. So I say that these are not guilty pleasures. These are just things that you like that would be unexpected of you. And just go ahead and say it. I like a Britney Spears song.
Hi, I'm Sean, and I like Bring It On.
And it's fine. It's fine. Because nobody cares. Unless you put it out on the internet, and then people are probably going to give a shit. As we'll find out soon.
Yeah. We're going to get a lot of tweets of blank question mark. All right. Well, I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping.
Yeah.
Visit our website. We're at languageofbromance.com. Follow us on Twitter. We're at languageofbro. Email us at eatthebeaver@languageofbromance.com. Like us on Facebook. Check us out on the Pocket Cast, iOS, Android, Windows, and phone app. And subscribe and leave a review on iTunes and Stitcher.
And don't forget to check us out on the Pod Bros Network.
The best podcast site on the internet, and there's so many guilty pleasures I have from that network.
It's never a guilty pleasure. You have nothing to feel guilty about.
Shout it from the rooftop.
Yeah.
And if you're in the need for some headbuds, go to tweakedaudio.com. Use the promo code LOBARMY, and you'll get 33% off. All right. Was there anything else before I close her out?
No, not at all.
All right. Well, that's all the bromates we have for this show. I'm Sean.
And I'm Richard.
And I say we eat the beaver.
Which is also never a guilty pleasure.
Hey, Richard, thanks for being a friend.
Thank you for being a friend. I traveled down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. It's late at night and I'm belting this out in my house and I don't give a shit.
That's funny.